So I take it home and I listen to the CD, and I loved it for 10 minutes, and then I was like, I have to turn this off and burn it because it is so fucking annoying. But then the craziest thing happened, because the next day I woke up and I was like, I really want to hear it again. And I've listened to it for 15 minutes and I loved it, and then I was like, I have to turn this off, it's fucking annoying. But I kept wanting to hear it, and then I was hooked. I loved it. I thought it was fucking amazing and brilliant, and like, I couldn't believe it existed, and I couldn't believe I didn't know about it, and I was like, wow, now I really want to do this. So I called up a friend of mine who was a really great bass player, and I was like, dude, you have to teach me how to play these songs. And he literally came over and was like, this is tablature. Like, I didn't even know what tabs were. Like, that's like, you know, like the simplest, you know what it is.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call and they're like, okay, you're going to audition at this day, whatever, you're going to play these 3 songs. So I was like, fuck. Like, there's no way I'm going to get into this band on like bass talent alone. There's no way. I'm going to have to do something. So I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? So the day comes, right? I'm shitting my pants. I'm so fucking nervous. Oh God, I can still feel it. Like, when I think about it, it was like sheer terror. And so I go into this tiny room with really low drop ceilings, and our manager sits in front of me with a video camera on me, like arm's length away, just like filming me the entire time. And he's like, okay, we're gonna play these 3 songs. So we go through the 3 songs, and I like jumped around. I broke my fucking bass strap. It fell on the ground, whatever. I was like fumbling around. I was trying my hardest, whatever. They all seemed very unimpressed. So he's like, okay, we're gonna do it again. So we do it again, bit of the same, jumping around, whatever. Steve has his back to me the whole time, will not even look at me. Steve. Will not even look at me. Jimmy's jumping up and down doing his thing. Finally, Gallus is like, okay, we're gonna do it one more time. And I was like, shit, I gotta do it. So we play Tornado, and in Tornado, there's 10 seconds in the middle of the song where the bass drops out completely. So I'm like, okay, fuck, I'm really scared, but I have to do it. This is like my one shot. So, I can't believe I did this. So in my bra, I had this film canister filled with Bacardi 151, and I take the shot, and I have in my pigtails, like matchsticks stuck in my pigtails so no one could see, and on the head of my bass stock was a strike pad from matches, like glued onto it. So I have the shot in my mouth. Gallus is immediately like looking at me like, what the fuck is she doing? I take the matches out of my hair, strike it against my bass, and blow fire all over the room, almost setting the place on fire, almost setting Jimmy on fire. Everyone stops instantly. He like drops the camera. Everyone's looking at me like shocked and delighted, and they're like, the jaws open, and I was like so proud. I couldn't believe I just fucking pulled this shit off without like causing any serious, you know, damage. And they're like, welcome to the band. That's great. That was that. So anyway, after that whole long story, my point is, and this goes back to like women too, is that I feel like there's so much pressure that people are, especially girls, are afraid to do something and be bad at it. And I think that you should just, doing it is more important than how fucking good you are. And the fact that I went into this situation and sort of fell ass backward into it and just kind of wung it forced me to be fucking horrible and okay with that. And at the same time, it was very freeing, because if anyone talks shit about me, I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. I've been playing for 2 weeks. So suck it. Do you have the balls to play in front of 4,000 people after playing for 2 weeks? I don't think you do. And that was like amazing for me. Mm-hmm. And I just think that if more people just simply tried, then that it's not about being good or bad. It's about like having the courage to just put yourself out there, and that's like the difference. Yeah. You know?
Oh.
So there's your interview. Yeah, my first show was with System of a Down in front of 4,000 people.
Fuck.
It was terrifying, and I was awful, you know? It was really bad for a long time. I was really bad, but you know, I learned, and I always had a good time and a good sense of humor about it, and that's also really important. To this day, I don't take myself seriously. Like, I know I have no like fucking delusions of grandeur about like my place in like the world of musicians. However, I do not want to be one of them either. Do you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think it's a good thing.
Oh, me too.
But it's like, I mean, what is professional? It all comes down to that definition. I mean, you have your place in that band.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you were meant to be there, and if you can't play the bass that well, does it really matter?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And also it depends on like, it depends on, you know, what you're going for, you know?
Yeah.
As a kid and like growing up and stuff, things that were like important to me were not necessarily skill. I was always more drawn to performers and not musicians.
Yeah.
Like if you stood me in front of someone who was, you know, the most amazing guitar player, bass player, drummer in the world, and they noodled around on their instrument, I would fucking be bored to tears. If I went to a show and someone pissed on their guitar, set it on fire, and threw it at me, that would be the best show I'd ever seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of always like where I came from, and I guess that explains a lot. You know?
Yeah, but I think it all comes down to emotion and how something makes you feel, and that doesn't mean that it needs to be perfect in one technical way. It's what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes people seem to forget that, and especially critics. I think
Oh,
that some of the criticism out there is like totally unjustified, because they don't even know what people get out of it. So how can they even criticize something if it's like they only criticize a technical part, or they're like complete snobs about those things.
Oh, it's so stupid too. Like, I don't even know how people get paid for that shit, to be honest with you. It's like fucking like, it's like art. You like take someone and stick them in front of a painting, and like they could be like, this is like the most amazing thing I have ever seen in my life. And then I could look at it and be like, actually, I kind of think it sucks, and neither one of us are wrong. And music is exactly the same way. So, you know, FTW, Bridget. FTW.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's true. It's the same thing that they say about us sometimes, about Tasted TV. I mean, the things that we do are, I mean, we're not professional camera people. I don't always know what I'm doing. I never learned for something like that. My English isn't perfect. I have an accent, stuff like that. I know they're more beautiful people, but does that really matter? I mean,
No.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people just, it's like in real life. Sometimes people stay at this stage where they focus on the package and they don't really look at the content.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, it's definitely true. I hope that changes for sure. I don't know why, I'm just programmed differently, and I have a feeling you are too, but like, I'm just not drawn to perfect packages, and I'm like way more interested in seeing like something with a little dirt on it, you know?
Yeah.
More character. Like,
Yeah.
I would much rather see someone with a fucking scar in their face than like perfectly smooth skin, you know?
Yeah.
It's just more, tells more of a story for me, and it looks like you lived more, you know?
Yeah, and I've gotten to a point now where I don't even see that anymore. It's like I'm really kind of not proud but happy about that. If I look at a person, I'll look at their exterior for 5 minutes, but then afterwards I'll get to see what they look like on the inside. And sometimes someone who's really, really beautiful will be completely ugly after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the other way around.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so fucking amazing. It happens like, that's life. That happens like every fucking day too.
Yeah.
And some people are really attracted for like, for me anyway, like really fucking weird reasons.
Yeah.
Like a weird walk, or like, I get attracted to people because of the way they walk a lot. I don't know why.
You do?
Oh yeah. I think it says a lot about you for some reason.
Shit. My brother always tells me that I walk in a very bizarre way.
I probably would think it was awesome.